if I say, hey, write me a lyric like Taylor Swift. Now, if I take that lyric and I go to Celine Dion and I say, hey, I just wrote this song, and she's like, oh, this is absolutely amazing. And then I register with ASCAP and I get my royalties every time it's played on the radio. When I log into ChatGPT, I'm using my Gmail account. So there's a record of me actually in there and me doing it. But is there like, what's going to stop like record labels and artists from knowing if these things are created using, say, ChatGPT?
Yeah, this is a great question. So there's lots of different dimensions to this that I think are interesting. So one is, this is super nerdy into copyright law. So I can get going about it. But like one super interesting thing about copyright is if something is generated using purely mechanical means, it is not copyrightable. So the current guidance from the US Copyright Office is if you type in, write me a song about whatever, love, that's similar to Taylor Swift, whatever it outputs is not going to be something that you can own. Like that, it's just not copyrightable.
Exactly.
So that I suspect will change over time as we realize like how like integral all of these things will become to part of our workflow. And I feel like the amount, like it's very rare that you get like a one-off perfect output from a system. So there's lots of working and reworking of the outputs and changing the way that you prompt it. And there's a lot of creative process involved in the selection of what outputs are actually good and worth disseminating. So I feel like there's probably eventually the Copyright Office will change its mind and it'll be maybe copyrightable, maybe for a shorter duration. I do suspect that like if there was a lawsuit that there would be a phase called discovery where you could actually probably access the company records in the same way that like, you know, lawyers suing Trump could get can subpoena Twitter for past records. But the question is actually like interesting and broader. So like, you know, in terms of like the honor system, like this is super relevant for me as a professor. Like 100% of all professors and probably all high school teachers are concerned about ChatGPT being used in their classes because it's essentially like viewed through one's lens, it's like a homework machine. Like you can type in my essay prompts and ChatGPT will produce a pretty like good facsimile of what I want. And like there's all these you know, benchmarks like, oh, ChatGPT can pass the bar exam and like do all these professional tests, and that's true. And like really all the tools that professors have developed over time for plagiarism detection and things like that are totally out the window because like they rely on looking at overlap between two student essays. And if you can generate a totally unique essay each time you type the prompt into GPT, like that's done. So
that's pretty wild.
It's tricky. Yeah.